So we thought that it might be worthwhile to discuss this out in detail. Okay. In manufacturing, leaders often adopt continuous improvement processes to improve their operational efficiencies. And tactics can include the root cause analysis, 5 hours audits, lean manufacturing ideas, tactics, encouraging the identifying and brainstorming ways to drive the better and better results. However, disconnected leaders that dictate the procedure and policy risk, uh, they risk the hurting the performance more than any help. Regular visits to the shop floor can help them connect it to the reality. So Gemba work is a tool often used by the management to get out into the workplace and actually see what is going on. Okay. It's based on the idea that for processes to improve, changes must be based on the facts learned from the observing work. Okay. Studying data about the workplace from an office may provide some kind of insights into what is happening, but to actually understand the ins and outs of the processes, people must go to the Gemba to look, listen, and question. In theory, a Gemba walk may sound very simple. It involves someone going out into the workplace to see what is happening. Okay? And to a certain extent, this is also true that it is simple. But learning to use the Gemba walks in a workplace takes its own time and practice. And businesses must determine how to use this strategy in a way that is useful for them. So today we will discuss what is Gemba walk, what are the Gemba steps, general do's and don'ts, as well as the basic questioning when we do the Gemba walks, the concept of the 3Ms and the Kaizen I's, and summarize with some kind of the benefits which emerge from the Gemba walk. Okay. Okay. So Gemba is once again a Japanese term which is defined as the actual place. And Gemba is a very common word for them. So even into the news also they would say that I'm reporting from the Gemba, which means that I'm reporting from the actual incident, actual place where the incident has taken place. So that's how they define the Gemba. So Gemba is, put simply, the actual workplace or the actual place. Okay. In manufacturing, the Gemba becomes the shop floor, which is the actual place where the manufacturing is kind of completed. Okay. And Gemba walk, then by that definition, becomes a tour of the shop floor. Okay. So the Gemba walk bridges the theory and practice by bringing the leaders to the shop floor to observe the processes as they happen. Gemba walk also provides an opportunity for employees across all levels and businesses to stand back from their day-to-day tasks and walk the production floor, questioning the processes, contributing individual ideas, and building interdepartmental relationships. Okay. The term going to the Gemba is described by the Japanese term called Genchi Genbatsu. Okay. So Genchi is going to. So that is where the term comes in from. Okay. So let's look at the very basics of the Gemba. And these basics are nothing but the 5 W's. Okay. Walks are traditionally performed by the managers and even executives, although anyone can participate in a walk to observe how the processes are working. Okay. Gemba walks would involve seeing how things currently work and looking for the potential problems. Some walks have themes to help the walkers focus on a particular part of the process. For an example, a walk might focus on looking for various kinds of the waste. So that would be the what part of the Gemba walk. Gemba walks can cover an entire value stream at once, but they often focus on more specific parts of a process to avoid the information overload. A walker might start at the shipping department, where products leave the site and head backwards through the production processes. Okay. Or a walker might tackle those locations on different days. So that's the where part of it. Frequency of the walks will depend upon the situation and on who is performing the walk. A manager may want to take a daily walk to see the details of the processes regularly, or executives may take walks maybe weekly or monthly. It depends, when do you want to really do the walks. Okay. Walks take place so that the people who are not out on the shop floor, or maybe even the sales office or warehouse or any other location of the organization, the whole day long, they can actually see what is actually occurring in those particular places. So that is why we do the Gemba walk. Okay. So that is the what, why, when, where, and so on, okay, and who. So these are the key elements of the Gemba walk. While the 5 W's which we discussed, they help us to remain focused on the goal of Gemba. The key elements of the Gemba walk could be the observe, don't correct, seek to understand, identify value add activities, find out subtracting values, and innovate and improve conditions, tools, and procedures. Okay, so these are the key elements of the Gemba walk. Gemba walk is not supposed to be a corrective exercise. We have it normally, and this is not something, which is only for us, it's across the board. We usually have a tendency to jump on solutions without full understanding of the situation. Gemba walk calls for patience to observe first in detail and find out what is really blocking the way. Okay? While it is easy to identify the failures, it is more important to understand what is working about this process and how. Then only one should identify the value loss or leakages in the processes so that they can be handled. Once we have a clear understanding of what is working and what activity is not letting realize the full potential, then only we can focus on removing the elements that are detrimental to the production. So these are the 5 elements of the Gemba walk overall. Okay. Outside of the manufacturing, companies actually are leveraging the power of observation to better understand their employees, customer, potential new markets for their products, and so on and so forth. So they do a lot of surveys, they do a lot of analysis, they actually do all kinds of the market feedback mechanisms and so on, or even the employee feedback. In general, they deploy the power of observation. Okay. Now, beyond highlighting the trends and insights, observations can also help in aligning a manager's perception with reality. So perception is a combination of what someone hears, sees, and thinks. What happens when decision makers do not see what is happening on the shop floor? They will always rely then in that case on the second-hand information. And sometimes this is from what people are also disconnected from the shop floor. Okay, so because I'm not really having a first-hand information about what is happening on my shop floor, I essentially am disconnected with the actual Gemba place. Okay. So aligning perception and reality is a potential benefit of the Gemba walk. Gemba observers need to know a process's target result and the official procedures. This helps guide their observations and avoid distractions. And with this information, the observer can see what is happening on the shop floor in a specific process context. Then they can identify opportunities for the waste reduction, which is the whole purpose of the Gemba. Gemba workers should focus on something that is moving through the process and not on the prop people who are working on the process. Although interviewing those people who are working on the process can be also helpful. Goal is to find out what is really happening and not what is supposed to happen or whether people are following procedure or not. Okay. Even if people are not following the procedure, that's what is actually happening on the shop floor, and you should be able to observe and capture that. Okay. It is also important that no assumptions are made by the observers during the Gemba walks and the observation sessions. Observation is actually a very inexpensive method which only requires time and note taking, and an observer often collects performance data to verify an existing problem or a deficiency in the performance. This allows to better understand the process and the many factors involved, such as the cycle time, yield rates, items in queues, records availability, and so on and so forth. Okay. So you can use an observation form for this purpose to record the observed data, interview responses, remarks, and the improvement opportunities. Okay. Observations are also used to measure the customer's perception of quality on the products and services. This helps to identify the customer satisfaction level and provide insights for the improving products, services, and processes. The key is to watch how the customer is using the product or service at their location or where there is a direct interaction between the customer and your product or services. Okay? It is important to train the observers and ensure they have a good impression on the customers also. And again, we could use this kind of the customer observation sheets to note down our observations. Okay. Applying a theoretical framework can also help observations during a Gemba walk. So we could use multiple, frameworks. One of the framework is the 6M framework. About this, had some network issue and had to, re-log in. Okay, so I think I was on the second framework. We had talked about the earlier framework, which is the 6M, which is covering the method, man, machine, measurement, material. The other framework which we can use while doing the Gemba walk is to focus out onto the 8 wastes which the lean defines. And these wastes could be in terms of as you walk shop floor and you observe a particular process, you could see a weight into the process. You could see the inventory rising or the piling up over there. You may see higher transportation or a lot of motions by the operators or the workers there. You may see overproduction, over processing, defects, or even the unutilized talent sitting over there. So this is the second framework which can be used to structure your Gemba walks. The third framework can also be something out of the box over here, which is design manufacturing. Applying the design thinking to problems yielded always the total quality management. And design thinking actually includes the 5 steps: empathizing, defining, ideating, prototyping, and testing. So how do you empathize along with the processes which are happening, the activities which are happening? How do you define that the things which are going over there, what is the depth of it, and the actual process being followed? Ideating furthermore in terms of what new things can be done. Prototyping, working out the solutions and experimenting along with them, and testing out those solutions. So that's another part which can be out the Gemba. The other framework which we can use can be the 5 whys. Okay, and we elaborated a few slides ago. Okay. Shop floors around the world now are encouraging the Gemba walks, and they create the schedules so that the different team members can participate. Because if everybody is trying to go onto the same workplace simultaneously, it may actually create the kind of nuisance onto the shop floor. So they schedule out such kind of the meetings. All the visual cues are used to encourage the walk. That is not the standardized attendance tracking. Now, if there is no accountability for completing the Gemba walk, then the activity becomes optional, and oftentimes participants without implemented. And that's why the accountability doing this kind of the Gemba walks. Okay. Shops focus on insight and data driven. However, without the standardizing, collecting, and usable format, getting these insights also becomes very difficult. Okay. Process visibility is also very critical to the process improvement. Traditionally, pulling data from different sources and departments, aggregating it, and finally finding opportunities for improvement in the number. Digital technologies can be deployed over here, which can automatically collect and analyze the continuous streams of manufacturing data, enabling engineers to take decisions faster and more accurately. And these days with IoT's analytics dashboards, they all work together to most up-to-date information. So this is another way in which we can track whether the data collection mechanism is happening in a right way. Okay. There is also, Gemba walk and what is management walks. Now, management walks are actually, the management by walk around. So management by walking around is a term which was coined by management guru Tom Peters. He actually noticed that good managers tend to communicate a lot better with their team, and they do like just hanging around in the office and chatting with them, rather than having the informal interaction sessions in the cabins or the boardrooms or the meeting rooms. Okay? So when we talk to the clients about the value of the Gemba walks, we the managers saying that, oh yeah, we always do that. Okay, and we just did a management walk. Okay, now yes, they did a management walk, which sounds very similar to what is Gemba walk also, but they are not two similar things. So let's understand the difference between these two terms. Both the terms have got the different goals, different destinations, different tactics, and different outcomes. The goal of a Gemba walk is to examine the current state of a particular process by observing it in action at the place where it occurs. This aim is very narrow, focused, and very specific. Whereas management by walking around, on the other hand, involves seeing what is going on more broadly, And that could be, maybe I just walk around on the shop floor and say, hey, hi, what is happening? Did you complete this work or not? And are you facing any kind of issue, or so on and so forth. So it's a very generalized, very broad way of interactions on the shop floor, whereas Gemba Walk is a very, very focused and is very specific overall. Okay. Similarly, Gemba Walk takes the manager or executive to a specific place to observe a particular activity, because that's the narrow focus over here. In other words, you would always know ahead of time where your Gemba Walk will take you and what the theme of focus will be. But in the management by walking around, the destination is undefined by the design. I could be going to any place at any particular time over here. During a Gemba walk, the manager asks very in-depth questions about the process being observed, like who is involved, what materials are used, what do you do, how do you know what to do, when the task takes place, what depends upon the outcome, and so on and so forth. He is very focused on trying to understand what exactly is happening over here. Management by walking around does not involve this degree of depth, and nor does the management by walking around asking open-ended questions as would a Gemba walk would do. If you understand, an open-ended question will always result into a larger explanation to be given. A close-ended question will always result into a very sweet and short answer, and it may not, increase the dialogue along with the other person. So if I say, how are you? It will normally result saying that, oh, I'm well, thank you. Oh, I'm not well. I have some problem. Okay. But if I come out and ask an open question and say that, I saw you that you were not working yesterday. Did something really go wrong with you? Is there something which I can help you on to? That probably is supposed to, entice a bigger answer over there. So that's another, tactic or the difference between the Gemba walk and the management by walking around. Opportunities for improvement are identified, but generally are not acted upon during a Gemba walk. We refrain from giving them the solution straight away. We do want to actually understand that process more in detail first. Managers who visit the Gemba, they will actually tend to ask questions instead of giving the answers. Typically, a period of the subsequent reflection and analysis would occur before any action is taken. This provides the opportunity for a fully formed plan, do, study, act cycle, PDCA cycle. Okay. There's no such limit when practicing management by walking around. So on the fly process changes are common, changes that are often half-baked and can be more disruptive than the being helpful. We cannot say that anything is wrong with management taking a stroll around the workplace from time to time, but management by walking around cannot take the place of a purposeful, well-executed Gemba walk. So that's a fundamental difference between the Gemba walk and the management by walking around. Okay. So what are the Gemba steps? Results will come if we have got a thoughtful planning, a good execution, and a follow-up on this. And several models have been advocated by various practitioners towards this particular side. Essentially, all the models which we'll talk about will have the three common elements. Number one, go and see. Okay, go and see at the place where work is taking place. The main idea of the Gemba walk is for managers and leaders on every level to take regular walks around the shop floor and to be involved in finding wasteful activities. The second common element is ask why, ask questions. The main objective of a Gemba walk is to explore the value stream in detail and locate its problematic parts through active communication. A good leader is always eager to listen rather than the talk. Okay? Here is why we may use different techniques such as 5 whys in order to identify the problematic part of the processes. And the third common element is respect the people. Okay? Have in mind that a Gemba walk is not a boss walk. You're not walking in as a boss over there and trying to tell the people that what they have to do and so on and so forth. You're not going to be pointing the fingers and blaming the people. This is exactly what you don't want to do. Okay? You're not there to judge and review. You are there to collaborate with the team and find problems together and put a focus on finding the weakest parts of the process and not on the people. So it's very important that you respect the people when you do this kind of the Gemba walk. Okay? So what we'll do is we'll take a quick look at a few of these kind of the models and then go in detail on a model which I personally prefer the most. Okay. So this is the 6-step walk preparation model. And as I said, managers and leaders have different views of Gemba walks. So you would see the 6, 7, 8, 11, 12, different kind of the steps of the model. This model, which I am showing over here, follow to be able to organize a successful Gemba walk. And these 6 steps are: choose a theme, prepare a plan and map, prepare the team to be observed, identify process walkers and interviewees, set a schedule and follow suit, record observations and share with the team. So these are the 6 steps into this. When we look into the next one, there is a 7-step model, which again focuses on a pick a theme, prepare your team, focus on the processes, not on people, be where the value stream is, record your observations, don't make the suggestions during the walk, an extra pair of eyes, follow up, and so on and so forth. This model differs from the 6 steps in terms that it focuses more on the value streams and the follow-ups. Okay, so that's the difference between the 6 and 7 over here. Then there is a 8-step, and 8-step are more like the 7 or 6 steps, except the wordings also have changed somewhere here and there. But the difference is that this model asks you to focus on the current state, visualize the gap between the ideal state and what actually happens, and look for the opportunities for improvement. So each of the steps have added up some value as they move from the 6, 7, 8, and so on and so forth. Okay. Then there is a recommendation for the 12 steps. So there is a 12-step model also. This model includes process owner to accompany the Gemba walk and induces respect to people working at the Gemba. Okay. So that's a 12-step. My favorite is a 11-step model. All the models we have talked so far are very similar. Some have explicit steps, while some are inherent assumption. I like this 11-step model more, where equal emphasis is on following and observing the value stream, teamwork in Gemba, respect for involved, and importantly, returning back to the Gemba, okay, which is the last step over here. If changes are implemented following a Gemba walk, it becomes very important to return to the Gemba to observe desired results have been achieved. KPIs, if you have set up, can give you some ideas of how well improvement is working, but nothing is as useful as the first-hand observations. So this is my favorite model of the Gemba steps over here. Okay. Let's look at some of the unwritten guardrails or guidelines to Gemba walks. We'll quickly go through these do's and don'ts. On the do's fronts, the purpose of the Gemba walk is to observe processes, not to evaluate the people performing the processes. Okay. It is useful to adopt the mindset of a student during a Gemba walk. Keep an open mind and ask lots of open-ended questions. The leader is there to learn, not to judge or to give unwarranted advice. Okay. Next is, you want to perform the Gemba walks at different time of day and different days of the week to get a complete picture of the state of the value stream. Okay. During and after the Gemba walk, validate any assumptions with the people who are performing the process. Do not make any guess about what they are doing or why. It can be very enlightening for the people to see processes and work activities in which they are not normally involved, and a diverse team can offer a greater array of the new ideas. Okay. Let's also understand the few Gemba walk don'ts, which you must not do. The purpose of the walk is to understand the current state. Improvements happen later, following analysis and reflections. So don't make a change onto your existing processes, right, while you're doing this thing. Management by walking around is an approach that encourages management participation in the work affairs of employees, whereas Gemba, on the other hand, is about observation and deliberation. Okay? Management by walk has often devolved into walking around, saying hello, slapping people on the back, and so on and so forth. But this is not very helpful from the Gemba perspective. So Gemba walk is the time to observe what is actually happening, not what has been documented as the policy or a standard work. The result of the Gemba walk may very well be changes to the documented procedures. Okay? It is also important that all employees understand the purpose of the Gemba walk and that the ultimate goal is to improve condition, processes, and instructions for the employees. Okay? The Gemba walk should always be seen as positive, not punitive. With a thoughtful approach, Gemba walk can improve communication and collaboration and ultimately result in a positive change for the organization. The simple concept, when well executed, is an effective tool for any organization focused on the continuous improvement. Okay? So we should not forget to communicate effectively once you are planning the Gemba walk and also during and afterwards as well. Okay. Now, the next thing which will come in is that when you actually go onto the Gemba, you are supposed to be asking a lot of questions. Okay. So Toyota chairman Fujio Cho gave a brilliant, simple description of what to do in a Gemba walk. He just said simply, go see, ask why, and show respect. Remember the three elements we talked about, which are the common elements across all the models. And they're all based upon the Toyota chairman's simple description of Gemba walk. Okay. And this is it in the nutshell. During a Gemba walk, supervisors and leaders go to the place where work is done, they observe and not fix processes and activities and ask questions that will help lead to future improvements. What we are displaying here, what questions you see on the screen are some of the questions that may be useful, especially if you're new to the Gemba walk or taking a look at a process for the first time. Okay. Sometimes they may not make sense in your situation, but perhaps as you start asking and getting into it, they will trigger some kind of the additional ideas. Okay. So questions can be asked in terms of where do you find the standard work document, how is the standard work established, what are the process inputs, how they're produced or procured, who relies on this process to be completely effective, how does this process or task align with the top objectives of the business, what challenges impact quality output of the process, and so on and so forth. Okay. There are more questions which we can, again ask over here. Okay. So these are the questions which again could concern the waste, standard work, and the improvements which are already in the place right now. Okay. The other thing which can be done is you can also start with the classic 5 Ws when on a Gemba walk: who, what, when, where, and why. We have already discussed in the past, but these are also the questions which can help you to actually understand what is happening on the shop floor more effectively. And if you want, you can even add the question how or the technique of how to the questioning strategy as well. Okay. Now, this is something new you might see. Leaders' standard work now is becoming a standard component of the lean implementation everywhere. Probably this is again another topic we may talk at some point and go in detail about it, because this is a vast management concept and also helps you into standardizing the work and implementing the lean very effectively. Okay. So leader standard work is all about sustainability and accountability built into the practices of daily, weekly, and monthly checks of the actual condition of the Gemba. Knowing what to ask and how to ask are completely different things, and any leader preparing to practice the standard work should first consider getting some frank input on their soft skills. Okay? Because if you don't have the right soft skills, you will not be able to understand and ask the right kind of the questions and standardize everything. Okay? In combination with basic soft skills, what I have shown over here are the 12 leader standard work questions which can be asked at the Gemba, and these things will help you to go and see and learn more effectively. Okay, so I'm not going to go into these questions, but this is another technique which is deployed when you go onto the shop floor. Okay. The other thing which becomes very important, and we are going to dwell a little bit upon this, is the 3 M's and the Kaizenites. Okay. Common term in the lean manufacturing is a fresh eye approach. And this always refers to introducing people to an area or process in which they are not familiar. Okay? By doing this, the people are not biased towards any method or may quickly actually end up seeing some improvement opportunities that the people who are there have actually overlooked. Okay? If the new person is introduced, understanding the muramuri muda, or rather the waste and overburden and unevenness, is very easy to identify quickly. Okay, we always come back and say, and I think this is something which we all have noticed. When you walk into a new place, you're bound to see something very easily which the regular people over there miss out, because you're new to the place and that unique thing attracts you. Okay, if you have trained yourself to also see that how the waste is happening, and then you walk into a new place, the regular things towards which the existing people have become complacent will be highly visible to you. Okay, so that's why we call it as a kind of a fresh eye approach into this. So I'm sure that we have done this session on the Murimura Mudi also. So you would be aware about the Muda, which is nothing but the waste. But what is important is that people may be aware about the waste, they are less aware about the Mura or Muri. Okay. For effective Gemba walk, we need to know all of them so that we do not create one, that is the one kind of a waste, in relieving the another one and expand our ability to see it. Okay. 3Ms are Muda, which is waste, Mura, which is unevenness in system, and Muri, which is overburden or stress in the system. Okay. Muda can be identified when you're doing a Gemba walk. Defective manufacturing, extra activities, frequent breakdowns which you may observe, lots of inventory, bad parts being generated, wrong actions or processes, and so on and so forth. Again, Mura, it can look like uneven or unlabeled processes or activities. You may see a lot of frequent stops and starts. You may see unequal or unbalanced activities, spikes and lumps into the activities, and so on and so forth. There's a Mura into the system. Muri is identified as unrealistic tasks or requirements being addressed, poor designs, poor ergonomics, unnatural movements, overloading on a machine or a man, and so on and so forth. So if you understand what is the Muda, Mura, Muri, and you go along with that on the shop floor with the trained eye, chances are that you will be able to identify where to improve upon very quickly. So that's why we call it as a 3M approach into it. Let's also look at the Kaizen eyes. So Kaizen, as you know, is a continual improvement for the better, and Kaizen eyes are opportunities to improve. Okay, these eyes are a skill that can be developed through the techniques and the practices. Okay, we can improve our Kaizen eyes by observing the processes and activities. Observations always take time and effort. They require patience, practice, and also humility. Okay, sometimes we may observe and we may not realize what it is. It takes humility to stand up over there and say that I am sorry, but I really don't understand what is happening over here. Can somebody explain me? Okay, that time you are a leader, you are an executive, you are a boss. That doesn't work over there. To be better observant, it is necessary that we first gain the understanding of the process, test positions and locations for observing, record observations, and ask the questions. We should not assume, but rather ask and clarify. And we should never be in the rush mode, rather, but be the patient. Okay? So that's the Kaizen eye over here. So seeing the 3Ms can help in improving the pattern of recognizing issues. It provides lenses to observe the processes through. This approach also helps in practicing our skills of observation and fosters a language to communicate opportunity. Okay? Once people develop the holistic way to think about processes, it prevents the trade-offs between the ill effects of waste, burden and unevenness, or the Muda, Mura, Muri. Okay? So that is why the 3Ms actually help us to see what exactly is the area of improvement through our Kaizen eyes. Okay? Visual management also makes it easier to identify the problems and bottlenecks in a workflow or process. And visual management would make it always easier to engage the staff, give leaders insights into key information, and also help them to ensure improvements are moving along as planned. Okay, Gemba walks are classic examples of visual management where you're seeing frontline work environments and observing to identify the improvement opportunities. Presence of the information boards with visualized ideas, metrics, graphs, and charts can also help in improving the observation. A Gemba board can be very effective in terms of monitoring as well as in terms of communicating what is happening in the workplace. So regular Gemba walks would ensure that the managers observe their shop floor operational reality. Gemba walks highlight how processes on the shop floor differ from the operating procedures defined. Okay? With focus, this exercise can generate ideas on how to innovate these processes. But we need to be very cautious that this is not a corrective exercise. It's an observationist exercise. Okay? Instead, we should encourage the observer to seek an understanding of why practices differ. Participants should focus on how the actual processes is delivering or whether it is subtracting the value. Okay? While touring a shop floor, Gemba participants gain additional context into their SOPs, which have been laid out. Then leaders can also apply this insight towards improving the conditions, tools, and procedures that are detrimental to the production. Okay, leaders are always more concerned of the decision's impact when the managers and operators both experience the shop floor. Okay, so once you actually go down onto the shop floor, you're working together, then the decision's impact can be totally different over here, because now the managers also actually understand what is happening on the shop floor over here. Okay. So employee engagement, this is something which again, part of the lean, you would see it constantly occurring. So I thought, let me also in context to the Gemba talk about it, that how the employee engagement takes place. And engaged employee. So one side, I want to engage the employees and they are engaged. Then how do we call them and who are these kind of the engaged employees? So engaged employees are those that work with passion and feel a profound connection with their company. Okay? These individuals drive the innovation, continuous improvement, and move the organization forward each day. Okay? While several things would impact the employee engagement, getting leadership to the place where work is done and actively engaging with the workforce, seeing with their own eyes the problems that occur, listening to the associates, and even giving advice or coaching to the team subsequently is actually a very critical factor in increasing the overall engagement. Okay, so when you do the Gemba walk, that is exactly what you end up doing. So Gemba walk would open up the lines of communication to resolve any kind of a potential issue faster, while keeping employees engaged in the process and keeping everyone focused on improving the efficiency. So Gemba walk again helps immensely into engaging the people and increasing the engaged employee rank and file. Okay. Our experience when we actually go down on the shop floor, when we talk to the managers, when we try to understand that what kind of the Gemba walk they are doing, we normally find out that most of the Gemba walks which are they doing are confused along with the management by walking around. Also, they seem to be having a tendency to immediately address the first issue which is visible to them, and instead of listening in, observing, trying to find out more in detail, they try to attack the first problem itself, and that's a negative point to the Gemba walk. Okay? Most of the time, we had to restrain our customers to avoid providing the solution immediately. Rather, first map the current state completely with details of processes, understand the depth of that particular activity, and then go back and ideate, find out the solution and experiment with it instead of jumping on a solution or jumping on the gun. Okay. Each Gemba walk can result into several improvement opportunities, and it is critical that we run a Pareto analysis to prioritize. Okay. Otherwise, the first solution may be the least preferred solution, and by the time you reach to the main solution or the main problem area, there may already be fatigue of not working on the right kind of the things. Okay. So again, undertaking improvements by the Kaizen or quality circles also help in systemic approach to improvement along with the involvement of all stakeholders, which helps in standardizing the solution and also creating necessary monitoring and measurements for tracking the continuity and effectiveness of the Gemba walks. Okay, so these are our observations when we always have gone onto the shop floor and talked to the people on this side. Gemba walk is an essential part of the lean management philosophy. Its initial purpose is to allow the managers and leaders to observe the actual work processes, engage with employees, gain knowledge about the work processes, and explore the opportunities for the continuous improvement. Okay. Gemba helps in building capabilities in teams to identify ways easily and work on improving. Bringing a new and not connected to the process with an understanding of the Muda, Mura, and Muri will also help substantially to identify the improvement opportunities. Or in other terms, we develop the Kaizen eyes for using the 3Ms. Okay. There are several approaches to carrying out Gemba, but all center around observing at the actual workplace, asking appropriate questions to understand the current state clearly while respecting the people involved in the process. Okay. Whatever improvements are carried out, it is very important to return to the Gemba to see the effectiveness of the solution. Okay. Gemba truly increases the employee engagement with leadership involved in understanding the process and supporting the team to improve. It helps in fostering the internal respect and ignites the passion in team to innovate and also work toward the continuous improvement. Okay. So Gemba work is an activity that takes an observer to see the actual process in the workplace. It allows workers to gain invaluable insights on how to reduce the existing waste, which could be in terms of the redundancies, bottlenecks, non-value added activities, steps, safety hazards, and so on and so forth. And it also helps in discovering where continuous improvement opportunities do exist. Okay? Leaders and the staffs members that are are actually very highly encouraged to regularly walk the process in the workplace and apply Kaizen or other improvement initiatives wherever necessary. Okay? Sometimes there is a need to go to the customer's Gemba also to look for the opportunities to reduce the waste and make improvements. It is important that Gemba workers focus on something that is moving through the process and not on the people who are working on the process. Okay? Oro University and Skilltelligent can conduct more detailed training sessions at your workplace, or rather, now let me use the term Gemba. Okay, so that's also another thing which we can do. We are launching few short duration certification courses shortly, and select topics as online certification courses also. I'm sure Kishore will be talking about them as well a bit later. You can subscribe to the Skilltelligent YouTube channel, where you will find the previous 20 webinars for your references. So thank you everyone for being part of this webinar. And if there are any questions, Kishore, we